Why are we called Negroes? Why are we deaf, dumb, and blind? Why is everybody making progress, yet we seem to be lagging so far behind? Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition, stripped of our name, our language, our culture, our God, and our religion? Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten by the preacher. He has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die. But all of the years that we're living, for us there's nothing but hell, pain, torture, and misgiving. Yet the Bible speaks of a heaven filled with material luxury, which the white man and the preacher has right here, so we see. So my friend, take it for what it's worth. Your heaven and your hell is right here on this earth. So let's check back into history.
I want to welcome you back home, my brother Michael Hamer. You have a lot to say, and I'm all ears, and I'm quite sure everybody is going to be very happy to hear the word that you bring today. How are you doing, my brother? And let us know how things are going.
I'm doing fine, doing good.
Good. And
I'm on my high vibration.
Oh, I love it. I'm not going to get in your way. You take it away, and you flow as long as you possibly can. Let us have it, brother.
Okay. This is Michael Hamer, the Rainbow Warrior, coming back at you. Tonight I have a message for the black man, the black woman, and the white man. But first I'm going to start with the black man. But first of all, before I get started, the truth is what it is. There's only one truth, and it's for everybody. It's a universal truth. And right now the whole planet, people on the planet is out of order. But all this stuff was part of evolution. It was meant to be. You got to take the good with the bad. But you got to be able to separate what's good and what's bad and distinguish. But everything we got to be taught. So I'm bringing a universal message because right now I'm at my high vibration. I can hear the voices of the universe, hear the voices of the planet, hear the voices of the animals, nature. And last but not least, I can hear the voices of our ancestors. So this is a universal message. Everybody's complaining, but nobody explaining. Nobody's coming up with a solution. But first, you got to see where the problem's coming from. Since we've been over here, we've been undone. Our roles been twisted. They put the black man against the black woman, and that's our battle with each other. But the most fiercest battle anybody's going to fight is right between their own two ears. They call it the temple. If you put your hands on both sides of your temple, they call it the king's and the queen's chamber. That's your brain. And that's most people's fiercest battles between their own two ears. So if you look at the king and queen's chamber, which is your brain, you got a feminine side, you got a masculine side. They got to work in sync. Left side is your masculine, right side is your feminine. But you also got a pineal gland at the pituitary. The pituitary gland is the master gland. But the pineal gland sees the true world. It's the first gland to develop after 18 days of conception. So this see the true world, the spiritual world that comes from within. So once you put your brain and your heart and your spiritual, your pineal gland, like I say, you see the true world, and your physical eye see the physical world. And once those three eyes in sync, then it becomes the third eye, the all-seeing eye. But you got to go by the universal laws, the laws of Moai. And right now we're not doing that. We'd rather vote for man to dictate our life and go to vote to the voting polls, but you're not getting anywhere because you can't vote for freedom. They say you don't have a voice if you don't vote. Well, I think that's some backwards thinking because we all have a voice. In the Black National Anthem right now, we have to sync with heaven and nature. So the Black National Anthem, we always do sing it. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. So we've been singing the truth all of the time. We haven't been conscious. So our spiritual voice is more powerful than political voices or any voice. And once we put our voices together and the black man and black woman come back to their true natural state and their natural role, the vibration of the truth that we sing is going to shake the earth, shake the world, shake the universe. Because we got to reconnect back to those sources. So I just want to let everybody know I don't come to make friends, but I come to tell the truth. Now, how you handle the truth, that's up to you. Because that's the most, like I say, that's the most spiritual battle people go fight is between their own two ears. It's between the conscious and the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind represents the underworld, the dark world, the spiritual world. But that's a dangerous place in the subconscious mind because it cannot distinguish what's real and what's not real, right from wrong. That's why there's structures in the Bible tell you to teach your children morals to distinguish what's right, what's wrong. And they talking about the subconscious mind. But see, it takes the mother, the natural role of the mother, the natural role of the father, to make a strong mind and a healthy heart for the child, along with the village, to make a strong mind and a healthy heart and for each child and preparing for the cope with the world. Right now, we're not doing that as a whole, as a collective. That's why I want to start with, I have a message for the black man, the black woman, and the white man. Because a lot of us really don't know who we are. So like I said earlier, in order to solve a problem, you got to see where the problem is coming from. You know, like I said, you can take this as a belief, but the truth is the truth. And that's all I know. Love is the truth. So my message is for the just and the unjust. But that's where you got to begin once you hear the truth. Because the one truth is written in everybody's on this planet, DNA. It's written in your heart when you come in this world. That's why they say the children are little angels. If you want to know my truth, listen to the children. I'm already there. That's because it's already blueprinted in their DNA. Now, if you raise them by the natural law and the laws of Moai, they'll naturally conform to those laws. And you have no problem. And when every child, this is for every child, black, white, all colors, the whole human race, this is universal law. And that's the only way everybody is going to come bring harmony on the planet. So I want to start with the black man. I got a message to him. Dear black man, you are the first man to rule this planet. In the beginning, there was no white, yellow, red, or any other man. We are the fathers of all less melanated people. A father's role is to guide, protect, provide, shelter, food. But these roles have to be taught. A child don't know any better until you teach it. If we teach them better, they'll do better. Provide for the family. He's a warrior. Since our journey has begun through Middle Passage, the Americas, England, all the Caribbean islands, our image has been destroyed through white supremacy and oppression. In America, the black man is fighting 5 battles. He's killing his brother. He's fighting his family. He's fighting the white man. He got a battle with the white man. He got a battle with his own black women. And women, a lot of the women that turn the children against their father. How many people you know love their mother and hate their father? So who teaches them to hate their father? But the main battle he's fighting is the battle with self. And everybody is fighting that battle, not just the black man. Everybody is fighting that battle. And that battle is in the subconscious mind. And what you're fighting inside and the battle within is between the lies and the truth that you've been taught. But the truth is all already in you, but you get the true doctrine to go along with it. That's everybody's battle. When we as a collective in the battle within ourselves, everyone will have to line up. First one will be our black women, and she will submit only to are all universal king. Then they will teach the children through the laws of Moab. And that's the beginning, because the woman, she's the key. But I got a message for the black woman. But the universal doctrine of love and respect towards the Father, and not the cracker doctrine, Willie Lynch. That's why it's called the cracker doctrine. That's what we've been raised by. Willie Lynch been running the black household for over 400 years. The only way to change these is to get to know your true inner, true natural self. For a seemingly hopeless battle, the solution to our problems are simple. The only weapon they have against us is keeping us from the knowledge of our true nature, our true self, from us. The knowledge of wisdom that nature and the universe provide for all humanity, which is embedded in our DNA, like I said earlier, genetic. All creation starts from the dark to the light, not from the white to the black. Remember, the first will be last and the last will be put first. That's us, because we rule the planet first. We've been put last in this place. We need to synchronize our brain with nature and the universe, reconnect, because we were made from those deities. In order for us to reconnect to nature and the universe, we must liberate our minds from the slave master's false doctrine that our oppressors forced on us. At the middle of our center of our brain, there's a pineal gland, first gland to develop a conception, like I said earlier, which is the true world, connects us to the, project us to the universal, astral projection to the universe. We are going through a galactic, spiritual, and natural alignment, cosmic awareness. Every 25,000 years, a procession happens. The earth, nature, and the universe go through changes. The human race has to adapt, submit to these changes. It will not submit to us. So, Mr. Melanated Man, we had ears, we had a vision, we had a voice to reconnect the whole human race to the universal law, our true conscious mind. That the universal nature gave us through evolution. The solution is simple. It's our duty to repair the black family, return to the natural mythology where only slaves can heal slaves. This is the key is to correct it not only in us, but the people of the world. People are walking around on unbalanced brains. The power is in us because we are the chosen people to save all humanity from self-destruction of man, of deception. We are the host of the mountaintop, the one that King was talking about. I see you when you get there. And everybody else had to gather around the bottom of the mountain to listen to it, because we took the hard route 400 years to get back to the top. We started at the top, but they put us at the bottom. But now we back on top again. The ones that become conscious. Everybody. Many are called, but few are chosen. That's all we need, a few conscious people. Because once we put our voices together, that's all we need. It's going to shake the world. That's the true world, new world order. We are the vanguards of that world. I'm not talking about what the white man said, new world order. I'm talking about the people that's obedient, the meek and the humble that's going to have the earth. The ones that are obedient to the laws of Moab, the universal law. We've seen the power of hate. And it's been going on for centuries, and it's part of evolution. It is really no one ethnic group's fault, but now it's time for us to see the power of love. For the power of love will conquer hate. We always say that, but it's true. This is the one and only law that will put the whole world in race in order. Is the law of Moab. So as I do this, black men, know who you are, know your strength. Because see, one thing about our brains and our heart, it's full of electromagnetic energy. And that's what the whole universe runs off of, electromagnetic energy. The earth has electromagnetic energy. So once our heart, you reach your higher vibration, your heart and your brain, what's written in your heart will be written in your brain, and you'll be in sync. And electromagnetic energy will get it flow with the so above, so below, but the energy is coming from above and below, the electromagnetic energy. And it'll flow through your body like it's supposed to. And so once it flows and reach your pineal gland, that's your astral projection to the universe. Because we know that's where all our strength comes from, is from heavens above. Not from the earthly goods and earthly materialism, but from the heavens above. That's our spiritual power. We got the melanated power to connect us to everything. Melanin is made out of everything. That's the connection to everything. So we as black men, like I said, men, is our duty to wake up and liberate our minds. So we can lead our family back to the true Trinity, the Father, the Mother, the children, in that order. Now I have a message for the black woman. One thing about the black woman, they call her the genetic Eve, the Eve gene. That's the mitochondria gene. That's the mutated gene that all other humans mutated from. But in that message, when they left Africa, they took that blueprint with them. So nature was cruel. And if man don't obey the laws of Moab, sooner or later he's going to get outside that law. And through evolution, they knew this was going to happen. Because sometimes that's why a child, you got to keep them on the right path, because that's what I take a village. All eyes on me. So if you don't keep your eyes on the curiosity, is going to make you stray away from the natural law. And that's what happened over the centuries. So some men came along and found out how to manipulate other people. That's where you get the poor man and the rich man. But I want the black woman to understand that she's the first human to do this thing. She was reproducing as all women at one time. She had asexual reproduction. She was impregnating herself. And it's called the Bartholomew gland. And she was taking the semen from the bone marrow. So between the mitochondria gene and the Bartholomew, I'm not saying it right, but the gland, that's when she created man, the Y chromosome. And that's when man appeared. So when they talk about God, the creator, how come they don't call it the black woman or the black man? Because from his mind, he created everything that they use, that people use on this planet. Everywhere we went, the whole planet was black. And we the first one to start religion. But the religion was based off the laws of the what? The natural law. It's more than 10 commandments, 42. And it's universal law. They just took 10 out to please themselves and to manipulate people's minds. But nobody's obeying those 10 in the first place. So in the book it says women submit to your man. First thing, I'm not submit to a man. Because it's not it's not being like a slave, like it's a part of agreement. Because the man, he has to submit to the woman too. But a black man is not going to submit to a hell-raising woman. And a black woman not going to submit to a sorry man, a weak man. They look for the alpha male. And they tell you that. So my message to the black woman, I want to start here. No woman will ever devalued in American society more than a woman stolen from Africa and African descent. The depersonalization of a woman is stolen from Africa on your mind, sexuality. They rape your bodies and your mind. They ravish. Your minds have been bamboozled by the false doctrine of the Willie Lynch doctrine. They indoctrinate. It was intentional. If nobody's read it, I think you should read it because it will help you understand how they put us in a state of mind and how they put our black women, how they went through the woman, annihilate the tongue. And that's not our true nature. And most of our black women, they call it ABS, Angry Black Woman Syndrome. That's not your true nature. See, because the building of a strong nation is start with the woman, not the man. Because you are the ones that set the laws and gave the law. Before man even appeared, you already had the law. That's why the mother is the giver of the law, and the father, he got to be there to enforce the law. So you got to understand. You ask most black women why they're angry, they say cause. They really don't know. But the anger was beaten to you. They had the Bible in one hand and this in the other. So they used to cut babies out of your stomach, out of your belly, and all demoralized, dehumanized, right in front of the man so you can lose respect for each other. So that is a disease, but you can conquer that. All you got to do is go back to your true nature. But you got to hear the truth just so you can see the truth. Because a lot of people don't know what they're doing. I told women a lot of times they get mad at me first, but they come back and say, Mike, I ain't never tell my son that again. You're going to be like your star behind his head, all that negative stuff, that negative energy. So you're going to keep them in the lower vibration. That's why the woman, she's the giver of the law. And that's why to build a strong nation, it starts with the mother. All our lessons started with the woman. So your emotions and everything is out in that child in the room. He might not be conscious of what he's learning, but the subconscious mind absorbs your emotions, everything, physical and spiritual food. So that's why you got to be careful with your faith. Because the mother could turn the children against the father in the heart. Because that's why it's important. Because the mother, once she plants that seed is going to manifest itself, whether it's good or bad. So that's the God, and she could put the God law or the devil law in the child. That's why she's the first teacher. And we got to understand our true natural roles, and that's why the woman, you are the key. And you keep passing this information down, this false doctrine from generation to generation. That's why the women and the man, that's the battle between the black man and the black woman. We got to hear in that battle. Oh, he made me this way. Mother, no, you had that baggage before you met him. Because you was raised with that. The brain is nothing but a program. You got to be programmed to be righteous and you be programmed to be unrighteous. Civilized or uncivilized. And a lot of people walk around on uncivilized mind, primitive mind. Because to control the nation of people, you control the woman, you control the nation. And when you tell your sons that negative stuff, you're going to be like your sorry ass daddy. You destroying the image of him and everything. And then you're getting this white Jesus to worship. I know you all saw Good Time, where Michael had put a black Jesus up there. And Florida, she said, no, I was raised with this white Jesus going, we've been brainwashed. Every man on this planet should have his own picture on the wall, not no imaginary friend. Somebody, how you going to love somebody you never seen but hate your black father? Or hate your black brother? See, that don't make no sense. That's not common sense. That's nonsense. See, so I want the black woman to understand her true natural role. That's why I say she's key. So, universe, nature, the planet, and Mother Africa is all built off the feminine energy. You look at the animal world, the mother's always the teacher. The lion, he don't teach. The mother's teach the lion, but he is forced to law, just like we supposed to. So you can learn a lot from the animals about your own behavior, because the study of psychology is the study of animal and human nature. So we got superhuman ability. It's like they have super abilities also. Even a little spider, his web is more powerful than any steel. And he produces, but that's what he do. That's his role. Everything got a purpose on this planet. And our purpose is to be in sync, to be in tune with nature, to respect, to love. But first we got to know what real love is, because a lot of people walk around thinking love is hate and hate is love. They can't distinguish what's right and what's wrong. Because if you've been taught hate, that's what you're going to think love is. You don't know any better. And this is all nonsense because it was forced on us. And like I say, when a woman say I'm independent, I don't need no man. See, that's nonsense. You're not supposed to be independent. Black man and black woman are supposed to be dependent on each other. Our roles are supposed to be dependent. But we got to resynchronize. Like I say, our brains back to the original, the way we were before we came over here. And it's our duty and the black woman's duty to teach her daughters to change their mind for the elders and the conscious people, the conscious women, to teach the other women. And sometimes you got to teach the elders too, because some of them are stuck in their ways. If they don't want to believe it or whatever, you got to be careful with belief, because if you can't explain what you believe and have facts to back it up, you better leave it alone. Because a lot of people believe lies, but they can't. You can't explain a lie. It has no explanation, none whatsoever. You can have to keep telling another lie to cover up another lie, but sooner or later you're gonna come back to the truth. So you're the key to turning this around, the black woman. So, like I say, to build a strong nation, that's who it starts with you. We did not go through our 400 years or over 400 years of systematic thought and wandering of the soul, unharmed, unscratched. So today you must examine what it means to be a stolen woman from Africa, African descent. If you are to leave a legacy to your next generation, you must know your true history and nature, because you are the creator of all the truth and love. Y'all the givers of it, y'all the teachers of it. Y'all created it. And the true time has come in which we are called upon to give a excuse me, and to give a united spiritual voice to the strong feelings that possesses us, our inner self, the God spirit. We refuse to become embittered. We refuse to become embittered. Sorry about that, my headphones just went out. Following this process, our inner self, the God spirit, like I said, we had a melanated power by nature and the universe to teach the next generation of the greatness of our glorious past, and the power to empower them and to set them on their righteous path. We change us, we change the world, the new world order. The world is waiting on us to step up and take our match. So So it's up to the black men and the black women to teach our children their natural roles as husbands and how to be a wife, how to be a mother, how to be a father. They had to be taught everything he knows. He had to be taught. He had to be taught his natural role. He don't come in here knowing it. Like I said, we talk about the laws of Moat. He and the sheep, they will naturally line up to their true nature. Like I say, I'm gonna write myself in your mind and your heart. So what they did was strip the woman, took her from a natural state to an unnatural state. So that's why we have conflict between. That's why the black men and black women can't get along because their roles been twisted. You say they put the woman in front of the man. That's why a lot of our black women think they belong in front of the man. I could tell you what to do, but you can't tell me. And they say we got the last word. No, you got the first word. But Daddy is the ultimate teacher. You got the last word. But what word is he going by? Because he been bamboozled too. You know, he's not really sure himself neither. So I'm not blaming nobody. I'm just pointing out what we got to fix. It's not your fault. It's not the black man or black woman's fault that we in the state of mind that we in. They made us just like them. Just like them. We kill each other, they kill each other. And money and all these losers, these raising our kids on these false illusions. We think the money, the gifts, and all of this is love. But that's just distraction. Those are illusions. We put in to share this planet. Should nobody be paying for nothing because when the black people ruled the planet, there was no money. We owned the planet. Everything we went, everywhere, and everything we had, it was ours and it was free. And that's true freedom. Should nobody have to pay for nothing on this planet. But the animals don't have to play. They live naturally. We supposed to be living naturally too. And how we gonna create everything and they take it from us and sell it back to us. Everything that was created on this planet, we created it. So what we doing paying them for it. And see, they trying to play God. They trying to play us. But change is here. Can you feel it? Can you see it? Can you smell it? Can you touch it? Because change is here. It's happening right before your eyes. First be put last become first. That's us. Look at the TV commercials. Look at the, of course, our music. We're the only people on this planet that change music every so often, change dance. And all this oppression, we've been inventing things. They've been playing off our energy, our spiritual energy, our intellect, our physical ability, our singing abilities, entertainment, everything. That's why you see a lot of commercials. They got black and white couples. They got black people, game show hosts. You got to look at the whole spectrum. Just look at how when they choked George Floyd out, how the world responded to us. Black power, all over the planet. But now that the White House got breached by their own people, they fighting each other. But look how the world reacted to them. See, the world is waiting on us. That's why I said earlier, we are the vanguards of the New World Order. Because we're the only ones that's 100% hit the blueprint. We speak the truth out there. I was talking to this lady, and she said, yeah, Mike, the woman, we give birth to the man and the woman. I said, yeah. You got kids or grandkids? He said, yeah. Then she said, but I came from your rib. I said, wait, hold it. Now, you spoke the truth, but then you went to that behavior. I said, that's a fairy tale, bro. He said, Mr. Mike, you making me think. I said, you better think. You got to think for yourself. See, but that's what happens when you program somebody when you're a child. They don't know any better. So you walking around with these false illusions and false doctrines, you think it's the truth. But I had to break it down to her. I said, everybody had a navel cord, and the woman was here first. So you could throw that out the window. And I told her about the Immaculate Conception. I said, y'all gave birth to man, okay? Didn't know God come down from the heavens and impregnate Mary like they get so it was a fairy tale. I say, but the truth is in there because they're allegory. But in the allegory, it's going to be a truth in there. But you got to know have the knowledge to put it together. Because it tell you, it's a story that's told that the real story is not readily available. Allegory. Jesus Christ, his story is an allegory. But it actually happened. It wasn't Jesus. It wasn't the way they did it. The only begotten Son that gave us all to live is the S-U-N. Walked on water. That's the sun rising up in the morning on top of the water. Or going down, it's on top of the water. So they took astrology and turned it into mythology. But last but not least, this is my message to the white man. Dear Mr. White Man, your rage of white supremacy coming to an end. And one thing about it, if you can't even see that your whole system are falling, especially your government and your religious system that you forced on us, you can no longer hide behind your guns, money, religion, those cracker laws. And the reason I say cracker, because when I first came to the South, we was calling them crackers. I said, why y'all call them crackers? Cracker the slave whip. And they had the Bible in one hand and the whip in the other hand. So they beat their laws into it. They just had the book. They didn't beat the laws that was in the book. And we already had those laws we was going by, but they broke those laws. Because they know if you're in your true state of mind, they can't tell you what you can and can't do. So like I say, your time is up. You don't even know it. And like I said earlier, look at the White House. The House divided won't stand. Democrats against Republicans, I don't care about neither one of them. Because that's the white supremacy system. And the president said he's going to stop white supremacy. No, you part of it. Because they use the government, they use the military, the education system, the religious system. And that's how white supremacy and racism is maintained and controlled through those institutions. But the family institution is greater than all those institutions. Those are the ones we got to concentrate on. And that's what they did. They messed with our Trinity. They messed with our family unit. The house divided won't stand. That's why we can't stay together. Because we don't know how to love each other. Like I said earlier, we've seen the power of hate because they showed it to us. But now it's time to see the power of love. And that's where we come in. They said, Mr. Mike, you don't say I love you a lot. I said, no. I said, that's an overused word. Anybody could say I love you, but do they really mean it? Do you really know what it means? I said, no, I teach love. I don't have to say it all of the time, but I teach it. And that's the greatest gift you could give somebody is the gift of love, the gift of the truth. So a lot of us are too comfortable with the ways of our oppressor. That's why we think we getting somewhere by voting and going and worshiping their Jesus. They imagine they not going by the law. They the ones that broke the laws. They the ones that wrote the book. But one thing I want you to understand, Mr. Oppressor, every time you open up your religious books, your Bibles, you find them black people. Because you stole that information, you got it from African folklore and the Book of the Dead. So you handed our stories right back to us. You just whitewashed. And the greatest sin that a man could commit is try to play God. And the gods y'all been talking about is the black man and the black woman, the God and the goddess. God is the truth, the devil is a lie. That's two sides of man. You need to be raised by the truth or the lie. So we still want to hold on to their laws and their false doctrine, their beliefs. But you're not getting anywhere. You're still stuck on ignorance. As long as they keep you ignorant and keep you separated, they can control you. They can control your thoughts and everything. So you're not free. So your world is falling down, Mr. White, man. It's crumbling right into the dirt. The religion and the government are your whole system because it's built on selfish emotions. white supremacy. But see, y'all don't belong there. Y'all try to tell us our story, but everybody got a story to tell who could tell your story better than you. See, I know my my American history, but once I start learning my African history, that's when I started to wake up. Because they stole the fruit, but they couldn't steal their root. So that right, the truth, that's when my mind changed, and I could see see the world the way I supposed it to be, reconnected back to the universe. So all you created was chaos in America. Money, sex, and drama. That's all you create. Sex is supposed to be sacred, spiritual energy exchange, but sex sells. So you falling so far from the laws if you think your laws are real and they're not. They're nothing but illusions. And to keep people in that lower vibration. And the thing about it, this deception has been going on for centuries. It didn't just start, it's just coming to an end. So you had a melanated power, you calcified. What, 85% calcified? So you were telling us that we were 3/5 human, but y'all the ones that 3/5 human. Like Neanderthal. We don't the one got 100% human hair, 100% skin, human skin, everything. And y'all mutated from the black woman's mitochondrial gene. She gave birth to you all. But wherever you went, the whole planet was black. The truth is in the dirt. You dig up the dirt, you're going to dig up blackness. But see, the geographical locations and the food that you couldn't eat or you was eating had something to do with your color and everything. You had to mutate and adaptability to adapt to the climate, to the hemispheres of the planet. So it's time for some order. And we the only ones, the black people, the black man and the black woman, the melanated people, we got the connection to all flesh. We got the spiritual and the cosmic connection to the universe. That's why we don't need spaceships to go there. We already got that spiritual connection. So y'all got to follow us to that connection. Y'all got to come through us for righteousness. But first, we got to get ourselves right. And the black woman, once she understands her true role, and once she get that anger out of her, and come back to her natural state of mind, the people on the planet will line up. We'll line up with the planet, we'll line up with nature, and the universe will line up, the age of Aquarius. So she's the key. The feminine energy. And like I say, we too far left-brained, the masculine. Because everything back in the day was, way back in the day was ran by the feminine energy. So everybody needs that balance. That's why I said take the mother and the father's role along with the village. Make a strong mind and a healthy heart. That's your health. Your wealth is your health. Your wisdom is your wealth. So every child on this planet is for black, white, I don't care what color you are. This message for everybody. And everybody's child will know how to love each other. Because you can put them together when they're children. And they'll play all day because they don't see all of that stuff because all of them seeds haven't been planted in their heads yet. So that's their true nature. That's our true nature. To love each other, regardless of the color of the skin. You're supposed to love the skin you're in. But you got to understand that the melanated people, your skin is your power. Is your weapon. Your tongue, your truth is the weapon, original. And deep down in everybody's soul, that message is there. That's why I say everybody, whole world, need soulology. And that's the only way it's going to be in harmony and balance. Because the universe is built off of balance. Our brain and our children are built off of balance. You need the feminine and the masculine energy. in sync, in order. And then you really see the genius in our children, the genius in us. To the white people, they came up with the word genius, but it's something that's natural to us. Because our brains are second to nobody. And people don't hear themselves. They take everything from us, using it. I said, yeah, I only think they invented was patent office. And I said, yeah, we smarter than that. Just hear yourself. They took it from us, and we invented it. That means we the creators. So they're trying to be us and using our energy. But it's time for us to take our energy back. Because people haven't noticed the days are going by faster. Time is sped up, it's speeding up. And that's because the whole the earth is speeded up. So you got to look at biological time and man's time. It's the same time as the clock, but the days and everything is going by quicker because the earth has picked up speed. And that causes a change. Every so many years, the earth will do that. That's why I say the truth is in the dirt. You could dig up the dirt, you dig up the past. But one thing about it, when we look at stuff we already possess, the ancestral wisdom. It's already in your DNA. It's already in your children. So we got to understand that we got to go back to the natural law. Nature, Mother Nature, Earth, Mother Africa, Mother Universe. So I'm not telling you these things, black man and black woman, to put you down. You might think, oh, he's attacking me. No, I'm not enemy. Your enemy is already there. They're alive. I'm just giving you the tools to work with. Now, a lot of people is going to burn their ear. It's going to come for some ear. But once you hear the truth, you cannot forget it. You cannot unhear it. It's scary. It's going to heal and it's going to kill. So that's why we got to concentrate on us right now. These are time to try men and women's soul. It's trying everybody's being tested. And the only strong going to survive, the ones that become conscious. It's not my call. I just understand it. I didn't make this up. People say, Mr. Mike, you got a crystal ball. I said, no, you don't have a crystal ball. History repeats itself. All you got to do is know what happened in the past. It's happening in the present. You know what's happening in the present, you can predict the future. That's how they was able to write it into a book. If you read the book right, it's tell you who it's talking about 400 years old present. And Revelation will tell you when things are going to happen. So we're in the Revelation. It's happening again. But it's the last time because we're in the age of information. Everybody got cell phones, little computers walking around with it. They hold a lot of information. Anything you want to know, you can Google it. Look at the children, how they're using this technology and stuff. They're using it to learn off of it. That's if you get out in that direction. Some people use it for gossip and all other things. You know, I'm not talking about that negative energy. I'm talking about the positive. Because electromagnetic energy represents the positive and the negative energy. You got the electric energy that's distributed. And you got the magnetic energy that attracts. So the melanated truth is for everybody. And we the melanated people, we want to give the law. And we're going to enforce it. So it's our duty, it's our responsibility as black men and black women to wake up and lead the world back to its true consciousness, its true self. And everything will be in order. That's how powerful we are. And nobody else could lead the world back to its natural order but us. Because everybody else came from us. You see, this the history and stuff you don't want to know. We know their history. But it's not our history. But in the way it is, Because you look at Africa, we the first ones that had the law, and we the first ones to get outside the law. We had slaves, you know. They sold their own people to the white people, but they had no idea they was gonna bring us over here and treat us like this. And nobody during any time period on this planet has went through what we have gone through. Nobody. They stripped us of our cultures, our language. We had to start back from our submissive, kind of primitive mind. So it took us 400 years to climb that top of the mountain. Came up, say, I'm coming up on the west side of the mountain. Yeah, iron sharpen iron. It's not going to be no easy way to evolution to get to the truth. It wasn't no easy way in the beginning. You had to go through stages. You had to learn. So that's how we got the law in the first place, through evolution. Nature and the universe planted those seeds in us, put that blueprint. So before we navigated our way around the world, we had to know the stars. We had to know all the language. I mean, we had to know all the animals, the plants. We had to be in tune. Because everywhere we went, we made our own medicine from the earth, made our own from the trees. So when you look up in the sky and see the sun, you see the moon, the water on this planet, and the earth, it's for everybody. And nobody should be paying for nothing. Because we are the God's creators. We didn't charge nobody, because we created for everybody to use. That's why I say our brains are second to nobody's, because we still create things. 400 years to make us weak, it made us strong. And to me, we're the most powerful people that ever been on this planet because of that. Because this is the first time that technology could send your voice all the way around the world. Back then, they didn't have cell phones, they didn't have satellite. But the satellite you got on your head, oh, he got a big head. Yeah, you got a big satellite. The bigger the head, the bigger the brain, the smarter you are. That's why ideas and everything come from our big head. So if you look at these little baby dolls, Hello Kitties, and all these teddy bears, they look like little baby faces. They got big heads and small noses. And see, that's, oh, it looks so cuddly. See, they plan on your love emotion for children. So there's nothing wrong with having a big head, a nappy hair, a black skin. See, they taught us to hate our hair, and all of the time they love us. They just taught us to hate each other. See, we got spiritual hair. That's why it spirals outside of our heads. If you turn it right side up or upside down, you either see a 9 or a 6, 69. And it go towards the sky. So we pick up all the cosmic energy through our hair. We communicate through our hair. We got two ways to communicate, verbal and nonverbal. So all babies, they use the nonverbal system, because none of them can talk. They're going to end up speaking their language, but they have to be taught that. But they communicate with their parents through their emotions and their body language. That's why when you get grown and stuff, you can tell lies all you want, but the body's not going to let you lie, because that spirit is in you. That's why a lot of people can't handle the truth, because the spirit of the lie is ruling you. But once you hear that truth, it's going to wake you up. It's going to activate. It's going to activate the God spirit that's in you. That's been there since you were born. And then that's when the real battle is going to start. And so, like I say, this message for the just and unjust is about love. I wouldn't tell you this if I didn't love you. And I love all humanity. I don't hate nobody. I don't even hate the white people for taking us through, because I knew our ancestors had our backs. I knew this was all a part of the process. Somebody had to go through this to be able to deliver the message to the world. So how come not? You shouldn't be the original people, the original blueprint. Like I said, we've been singing the truth, and that's how the Africans passed the wisdom to the children. They sung it and danced to them. And we've been singing and dancing ever since we've been over here, the truth, but we haven't been conscious of what we've been saying. That's why I say I never forsake you. I'm always there. Our ancestors wisdom. We got the ancestors on the inside and the outside. They got our backs. The universe got our backs. Nature, the planet got our backs. Even the animals got our backs. So I'm just trying to get everybody to understand. Once you're in that battle between your own ears, then you become your high vibration, your high self, and then you see the world the way you're supposed to see. Like I said in the beginning, I'm at my high vibration. I hear the voices of the universe, the voices of the ancestors, the voices of nature, the voices of the planet. It's all communicating. We all connected to everything. And we're the first ones to connect to that. We had astrologers. We had the first university. Everybody around the world was coming to Timbuktu and a couple other universities in Africa just to learn. And that's what the university learned, named after is the universe. So you get universal teaching from us. We're the first teachers, original. And when they left and went to Europe, got caught up in the Ice Age, that's when they mutated from black to white. So they lost a lot of knowledge, a lot of everything, melanin, everything during that time period. So they became into their lower vibration, their lower self, their reptilian brain. That's why they compare it to reptiles and stuff. But all the time they talking about the reptilian brain. That's your primitive brain. We're going to do primitive things. But see, that was the first part of your brain to evolve, is your lower vibration. We had to evolve into the middle brain, where your emotions and everything, into your higher brain, your mammalian brain, and that's your higher vibration. We had to evolve into that, and that's the vibration of love. The lower vibration, that's the vibration of hate. High vibration is the high vibration of love. And you're born with two main emotions, that's love and fear. And right now, the white man taught you fear, the white supremacists. I ain't saying all white people, and when I'm talking about the crackers, the ones that still stuck in their ways, the ones still think they got that whip in their hand. The Donald Trump people, you know who they are. We've been separated. See, so the positive and the negative, they've been separated. You got positive and negative people in all races, in the whole race of people. I don't care what ethnic group, what color. There's no harmony. Everything is out of order. What the song say, take me to the king. We need a word for the people's pain. So these are religious people, but they still searching for the truth. They say, but the truth is set you free. So they don't know it consciously, and subconsciously, they don't even hit themselves. Because if you knew the truth when you were saying that, that means you haven't found it yet. You haven't found what you've been looking for. You're looking on the outside, but all of that, and that's what religion teaches you. Is to look on the outside instead of inside. You see, if you look at religion versus spirituality, it's a big difference. Religion is for control. Religion represents deception. Spirituality is clarity. Lies is false doctrine. The truth is true doctrine. It's for mind control. Religion. Spirituality is free-minded. Religion is negative energy. Spirituality is positive. Religion is hate. Spirituality is universal love. Anger is part of hate. It's part of your fear emotion. Spirituality is humbleness. Religion is man-made. Spirituality is naturally made. Slavery. That means you've been domesticated. And that ends up being spirituality is free-minded. You're nobody's slave. Once you're free-minded, can't nobody tell you what you can and can't do. Religion destroys health. Spirituality ensures good health. Religion is myth. Spirituality is reality. Religion is superstition. Spirituality is strong mind and healthy heart. Religion is confusion. Spirituality is knowing. Religion is lower frequency. Spirituality is your higher frequency. So what do this all have to do with cognitive thinking, cognitive development? It has a lot to do. Like I say, one is man-made and one is naturally made. So we got to go back to the natural laws. That's all I'm saying. So whether you submit to it or not, it's still going to happen. Change is going to happen. You can't stop it. They don't have nothing that can stop us because it's a natural procession. Age of Aquarius is about love and alignment, reconnecting. And that's the only way the planet is going to get in order is through us, through the people. Because what you put in the universe, they think what you put out there, you get back. So it's a lot of negative energy going from the human race, but it's also a lot of positive. So this change is affecting the people that is negative, that's caught in their frame of their mind, more than it is that the ones that's conscious of what's happening. So we're dealing with forces of nature, the forces of universal laws of universal nature against man's laws. Who's going to win out? So once we submit to those laws, we back on top where we belong. But we're going to teach love. We're not going to teach hate. We're going to teach that cosmic universal love. It's alignment, like I said earlier, alignment, cosmic energy. And right now we had a cosmic conflict between the house of Israel and the false Babylonian house. That's the white man against the black man. And like I say, the Bible, every time they open up, they've been calling black people. They just whitewashed them. They put European names in there, but those are people that after African folklore, African kings, it was written after them. Their story. So his story is full of fairy tales. Our stories are full of reality. Even if we don't even know it, that spirit is still there. So I just wanted to touch bases with everybody and let everybody know what's really going on. Like Mom would say, what's going on? Hey, brothers, tell me what's going on. You see, we've been passing the message down through songs, through music, through rapping to each other. And that's what they know what he's rapping about. Because we were still passing the truth down by the word of mouth. Harry Tubman and all of they used to braid the maps of the Underground Railroad in their braids in their hair. See, they were singing signals braided in the water. They were telling you which way to go. And the white people didn't understand. Because to be free is still in you. You're free. How many times you did something, went the wrong direction, say something told my shit to did. See, that's the spirit of the truth. That's your true instinct. But you weren't taught to obey that voice, that negative voice. You keep listening to it, you keep bumping your head, you're going to hopefully, you'll finally listen to that positive voice that's in you. And that's how you hear yourself. I've seen a lot of these brothers go to jail And I ask them, man, you ask them about their families. And most of them, they gonna love their mother and hate their father. So then why you love your mother and hate your father? Oh, that nigga wasn't shit. He wasn't there. He was this and that. I say, who told you that? My mama. See, that's that Willie Lynch cracker doctrine. They indoctrinated with your tongue with that. Because they know if they annihilate the woman's tongue, they can control the nation. They know if they can destroy the image of the black father and give them that white image to the mother to indoctrinate them with, you grow up believing that. But see, myself, I never believed that because I'm number 9 out of 10. My brothers and sisters, they were teenagers when I was born. So everybody was hating my father, but they were trying to get me, my mother especially, trying to get me to love this white Jesus. But I couldn't do it because I knew it was something wrong. Just something inside me said, this is not right. I had this white picture, and this white man is getting more glory than my father and respect. It just didn't sit well with me. So I was on the quest when I left home to find out. But I had to come back to the South, where my family, they came from Mississippi, so I had to come back to the South because they brought their beliefs and everything with them. Some of the things they believed in, I never believed in. And come to find out, my ancestors, they chose me out of my whole family. But I had to go through something to get there with my mother. She's the one that planted the seed. As far as I know, she never lied to me. My father never lied to me. But I saw my mother and my father had to go through that transition. You know, my mother was a bit of a hell raiser at first, but then I saw her make that transition. You talking against my father. And then once she made a transition to a true state of mind, I was still young enough to pick up on her wisdom. So she planted those seeds, but I had to leave home for them to grow. And once they started growing, then I started wondering where did she get this information from? But it was already in her DNA. And you see a lot of people that go to jail, they heal themselves in jail. And they say, oh, God did this. I said, yeah, the God in you. All you did was fed yourself and made yourself obedient. You weren't trained right when you left home, but you had to train your wild, primitive nature to be submissive. The lie you've been raised by, you had to get rid of and submit to that truth that was in your DNA. So everybody could heal themselves, and that's what the word healthy means. Healthy, heal thyself. And everybody could do it, but you have to have the willpower. You change your mind, you change your life. Everything, free your mind, the rest will follow. Your health and everything will line up. That's not if you're too far gone. So you got to get to know your true self, your true knowledge. That's the wisdom. That's what wisdom is. It's the knowledge of your true nature. Your role as a mother, as a wife. Your role as a father, as a husband. Your true roles, natural roles. That's the wisdom. The self-knowledge, your inner self. Now, the knowledge you get about the world and everything else, that wisdom will guide the hand of that knowledge. You could go to any college and stuff and get your degrees, get your doctorate, get your master's. But if you don't have no wisdom to guide you, you're just an educated fool from an uneducated school. See, so the ones that self-taught, those are the most dangerous ones. And the ones that went to college and got their degrees, they're the most dangerous ones. They're the ones that run the government, run all the systems, teaching system, and it is all of those systems. So we got to get rid of that system and go back to the natural system, family. That's the most important institution. That's the first institution. Like I say, look at the movies they make it and look at the movies we make. See, we waking up. And one thing about our dark skin, that melanated skin, is it got magnetism to it. That's why everybody attracted. Black woman, black man can go anywhere in the world and people will greet them, rub their hair, rub their skin, and all the time they submit to the original man and the original mother. The original mother and the original father. But they know this, but we don't know it as a collective, who we are, how powerful we are. I say we're the most powerful people on this planet, and we're the most powerful, especially the ones in the South. And that's where the truth gonna come from. It's coming from the hood, to the top, not from the top to the bottom. It always comes from the South to the North, not from the North to the South. So the South is where slavery started. This is where it's gonna end. And the brothers and sisters in the South, they waking up fast now. Everything is speeding up. And I can't find everybody around the world. Even the non-melanated people, they waking up too, especially a lot of the white people. Chinese people, Japanese people, because they know who we are. Japanese people already told the world, when black people mix with other races, they change the race. So we the game changer. This game they've been playing with us, our mind controls. Domestication, just like you do a circus lion. Take a whip and make him obey your laws. So, like I tell everybody, I never leave home without my ancestors. I just credit card, no, I never leave home without my ancestors because they follow me. They're inside me. And I listen to that voice, their blueprint. I don't submit to no man's law. You know, if it's right law for everybody, I keep that. But if it's selfish law just for white supremacy, oh, you could have those. I don't submit to those. No, I don't submit to those. But anyway, this is Michael Hamer. I just wanted to touch bases with you, let you know what's going on. And we'll be back soon. Thank you, Brother Lance, because we got to reconnect back to Africa. And once we do that, it's a done deal. This is Michael Whitehead Hamer, the Rainbow Warrior. Checking out soon. We'll talk to you later. Peace.
Make sure to check out the boldest blog at LanceScurv.com and follow Scurv on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube under LanceScurv.